Hi and welcome to today's video tutorial. Today I'm going to show you how I transformed this men's shirt into this really cute skirt. So if you'd like to see how I did that, just keep on watching and I promise you it's really easy to do. So to figure out how big of a piece of fabric that we're going to need for this skirt, you're just going to measurement around your butt, and mine was 91 centimeters, and then I just added 20 centimeters for that number. And then I also measured around my stomach, and it's going to be a smaller piece that I'll show you later, and that was 86 centimeters. And then I also added 20 centimeters for that number, because that is how we know that it's going to ruffle and that it's going to fit and have the shape that we want. So first, here we just have the shirt on the floor, and I'm going to start with cutting off the sleeves, and then I'm going to cut off the shoulders or open the shoulders. So first here I'm cutting off the sleeves. Like this. And now I'm just cutting off the shoulders. Like this. So we can open it up. And then I just go and unbutton it. Like this. So now what I'm doing is I'm measuring the length under the arms here, and the bit right under the arms was a little too short for my skirt, so I decided to cut a piece out in each side so that it could be about 46 centimeters in length in total. And then I just go ahead and cut off above the armholes of the shirt and the two sides of the buttons, as you can see here. So now we have these three pieces, and this is my measurements for the shirt. So I'm just going to sew the three pieces together, and then I'm going to do the top hemline. So I've just sewn them together, and here's how I do the hemline. So just start by just sewing on the right side of the fabric, just with a straight stitch, like this. And then I go to the wrong side of the fabric and fold it like this, and sew on top of the seam that we just did. And this is what it's going to look like. And then I'm going to cut off with just a scissor the extra fabric, as you can see here. And then the last step is just to, still on the wrong side, fold up the edge like this, and then sew on top of it. And then it's going to look like this. So this is how I'm going to do the hems for this project. So now I've put some elastic in my bobbin, and we're going to sew a couple of rows with elastic. So you just sew with a straight stitch. The only different thing is that you have elastic in your bobbin, and you just sew straight lines, and then create the ruffle effect right here. And this is what it looks like on the back side. So here for the next row, you can see I'm keeping a distance of about a half a centimeter. I'm going to do that for my rows. And this is what it's going to look like. So you're just going to sew straight lines. So here I'm done, and here you can see how it looks like. You can do how many rows you prefer, and you can do the distance between them as you prefer also. And now here I'm just folding it on the wrong side, because we're going to do the side seam. So like this. And then we're just going to sew the side together, also just with a straight stitch right here. So now I use some of the extra fabric to cut an additional piece of fabric, as you can see me doing here. This piece of fabric is going to be a little bit smaller. And this piece is going to be our ruffle. So I just used whatever fabric I had left, as you can see here. So now I'm just going to sew the pieces together, and this is measurements, and then I'm going to cut them so they are straight, and then I'm going to hem with the bottom line, and I'm just going to hem it the same way as I showed you earlier. So now you have a piece that looks like this, and this is the hemline, the same as the other one we did. So now folding on the wrong side, and we're going to sew the side seam together. Right here. So now here we have the skirt, and here we have the extra piece of fabric. And they are almost the same length, so that is perfect. As you can see here, the smaller piece is a bit tighter, but that won't really matter. So now we're going to sew the small piece on our skirt, and I'm just going to fold the top hem, as you can see here, and I'm going to sew atop of that fold. But I'm going to show you here on my sewing machine. So here I'm just matching up some seams, but it's really difficult to see. And I'm folding up the top hem and just aligning it with the bottom elastic row. And securing the thread. And then I'm just going to sew all the way around. And I'm also sewing this row with elastic. And I'm just going to fold the edge as I'm going, as you can see me doing here. And it's going to create this little top ruffle to where it's attached. And when you're done with this step, your skirt is actually done. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. This is a really easy skirt to do, so I hope you're going to try it out. But once again, thank you for watching, and see you next time. Bye.